morning everyone. It is day 0 officially of Hyper Japan London, so we are heading down to London this morning. I am really excited. The last time I did Hyper Japan, it was my first ever convention and it was actually in Manchester. So I'm excited to be back down in London after MCM London a few months ago. A little bit nervous about the 4-foot setup, but we'll see how we get on with that today. And also, more excitingly, I am not on my own today. I have got Mr. Spicy, aka Jamie, coming with me. So we will be two-manning it most days. He's going to go and do another event for me on Saturday, so I will be soloing it on Saturday, but it's nice to have someone to help me for setup and pack down at least, and then he'll be with me all day Friday and all day Sunday. So yeah, it's super exciting. But while we're here, let's have a look at a couple of the ceramic pieces that next week I'm going to be glazing and hopefully putting into the kiln. First thing we've got is this mug. It looks very, very coarse and very, very rough. I have sanded it. I think that is, obviously one to do with my very rubbish trimming. However, this is a more grogged clay body, which I haven't actually thrown with before. I've only hand built with. I think it's called Flecked Stoneware from Pot Clays. So I'm excited to see how this sort of manifests itself on the second firing. And I'm not really sure how to glaze this at the moment. I've also got this beautiful wavy star vessel. So these are actually for a project that I'm working on in collaboration with another small business. These are going to be filled with candle wax, ready for the festive season. So I think I know how I'm going to glaze this one. This is the one that I think I'm going to draw inspiration from. So try and get it in a better light. So it's almost like raspberry ripple vibes to it. But yeah, that is pretty much everything that I've got for Bisque at the moment. The studio that I go to is actually closing for 2 weeks as of, well, yesterday was my last day, which was Wednesday. It's not opening again until mid-August, which obviously absolutely fine, but I'm like so not only because obviously I want to do stuff, but mainly because I've got MCM London this weekend. Next weekend I've got a makers market. Also I've got a market this weekend that Jamie is going to for me. And then the weekend after I've got MCM Birmingham. So obviously quite a big convention as well. Obviously you never know how it's going to go this time of year. Markets have been pretty slow, to be honest, into the summer. Obviously then hopefully going into September, October, people are thinking about Christmas. So, you know, I'm going to be all guns blazing when the studio's back open, getting as many spoon rests, garlic graters, mugs out as I can. Obviously I am quite lucky in that my business predominantly focuses around polymer clay at the moment. However, I am a hobbyist ceramicist at the moment, and my goal is to get to a place where my ceramics takes over most of my stall and I just have a few prints, maybe a few little polymer goodies left. But my direction of travel is very much towards ceramics as of this moment. So yes, very excited to get back into the studio, but for now we've got a busy couple of weeks, and for right now it is time to go and make sure the bag's packed so we can go and hop on this train down to London Euston. So yeah, let's go.
거친 손을 떼지 못한 채로 I know 이게 그냥 우연 같진 않다는 걸 버스 창에 비친 우리 실루엣 괜히 드라마 속 한 장면 같아 Oh yeah 흔들리는 내 맘 같은 쪽으로 기울고 창밖 모든 풍경은 빠르게만 지나가 우리 말 안 해도 아는 이 미묘한 거리감 조금만 더 다가가도 될 것 같아 Right here now 조명 곁에서도 없는 우리만 하는 이 드라마 끝이 어딘지 몰라도 지금 여기면 됐어 주연도 없는 우리가 만든 이 장면 아무도 모르게 우리가 만든 이 드라마 You are my permanent 다시 태어난데도 너와 한평생 함께하고 싶어
Hello, it is a little bit after Hyper Japan now. I think it's been about 2 weeks. I'm actually preparing to go to MCM Birmingham. Tomorrow is set-up day. So yeah, it's been a good few weeks now. So I thought I would just film a little bit of a debrief. So Hyper Japan London. There's been a lot of discourse online, on social media, on YouTube, on everything about this particular event. For me, I think I was one of the lucky people. I effectively did well. It wasn't as good as other events have done, don't get me wrong, but I personally was okay with the event itself. I think it also helped that I had managed to double book the Saturday, so I actually sent my partner to another event down in London on the Saturday. Although it was a lot of work, I think I was one of the lucky people that, yeah, expenses and things weren't sort of a concern. However, I know that there was incredibly low footfall compared to previous years and also compared to other events. This coupled with the fact that the price for a table in the market area as an artist, so effectively Artist Alley, the fact that this table was comparative to an MCM event where you get a 6-foot table, you know that there's going to be pretty much footfall there because they are probably the biggest convention in the UK. Hyper Japan just doesn't have the same audience, unfortunately, and it is more of a cultural event. So rightfully or not rightfully so, people who go there are looking for experiences authentic to Japan. So they are going to be primarily focused around eating the food, going and seeing the shows, which were amazing, by the way, and all of the performers, and also going to some of the exhibitors downstairs who had maybe more of those authentic Japanese experiences. So I think it's just a very different audience, although of course there is some natural crossover. However, it's much more concentrated when you do go to a Comic-Con or, you know, an MCM event where the audience is catered for that audience, if that makes sense. However, I still had a great time. As I mentioned there, the stage was insane. So I was actually lucky enough to be on the gallery at the top where the stage was overlooking us, luckily or unluckily, because it was quite far away, which I think factored into sales and footfall and things like that. However, it meant that we did get the music coming up. We could go and have a quick peek over the balcony and see the performers, and the performers were insane. They were so good. Yeah, it was a really good event, and I must admit that although there was a lack of footfall, everybody that shopped with me, stopped by to say hi, was lovely. And it was, for me personally, I found it to be quite a lovely vibe. There's lots of discourse online about the audience that Hyper Japan pulls in, and as I said earlier, it is people who are looking for that authentic Japanese experience. There's lots of people who have said it's more of a normie crowd, and for myself, I sell some fan art, but the majority of what I do sell is original pieces. I hand make all of my pieces. As I say, I have a very small selection of stickers, prints that are fan art or fan art coded, but the majority of what I make is kind of standalone, and it is linked to kawaii and Japanese culture because that's what I'm personally interested in myself. So maybe that was a factor in that as well, for lots of people who maybe sell more niche fandoms and things. But everybody that I personally met was lovely, and I had a great experience overall, to be honest. I would definitely go back to this event. However, despite the loveliness, there are some drawbacks. So, of course, footfall was one. The 4-foot table and the price for me was a big thing. 4-foot with ceramics was really difficult. However, when I spoke to some of the people that had got the trader tables, which was I think around £400 for a table, I don't think I would be comfortable taking that risk just to have a bit of extra space, to be honest. So I think if I were to rebook next year, I would be looking probably again at the artist table. Location wise, I was very excited to book this event. I was there at the moment of opening and I managed to get a table. Me not understanding the setup of the Olympia and the setup of Hyper Japan, I booked in the area that was near the stage, up on the balcony. Now this was very out of the way, and coupled with, as I know a lot of other people have said, the lack of signage at this event, it did mean that the footfall was going to be naturally slower because people weren't coming through. However, there was an area which was completely plain next to us, which people were using for filming TikToks and cosplay shows and things like that. So I think that that did naturally draw people up to circle around the whole of the Artist Alley, but I would probably book one of the more central locations, knowing what I know now, but it's all learning curve, So linking to the lack of signage for market exhibitors and artists, something that I had noticed prior to this event compared to other conventions that I've been doing recently is that Hyper Japan, I don't think once actually actively promoted the market exhibitor area in terms of the artists. They did promote the traditional Japanese exhibitors, which of course completely understand and respect. However, some of these were included within the sort of area that we were in. Yes, we were named on the website in a big scroll list, but in terms of the promotion material, not that I'm expecting them to have posted pictures and exhibitors lists and things like that, because no other convention does that, but most other conventions do write that they have an artist alley or that they have artists there. And I did notice that there was a significant lack of that representation on their page. And it was something I noticed in the build-up and something I actually noticed post as well when they posted their sort of highlights reel. For me, I just think it shows where their priorities lie, the audience that they're trying to gather around these events, and completely respect and understand that. It's more of a cultural event. But for me, it just feels a bit unsettling when you're still charging the artists quite a high price, let's be honest, and you're not really giving them the awareness that they are there. For me, that was something that I kind of felt was a bit of a red flag. It won't deter me from doing the event in the future. However, it was just something that I personally noticed, and I wondered if anyone else had noticed it as well. But overall, it was a fabulous time. So I thought I would actually show you a few of the things that I traded with other artists. I was very reserved at this con because my expenses were so high. I managed to hold off buying pretty much anything. However, I did buy 2 things, so let me show you those now. So the first thing that I brought was this absolutely beautiful lanyard, and it's just so beautiful because they just gave us a plain blue lanyard and I was like, no, I want something cool. So this was absolutely beautiful and a godsend. I also brought one of the B grade pins from Magical Maidens. It is free ren, and I couldn't believe it when I found this in their B grade bin because to me it's perfect, but they did explain to me why it was B grade. No clue, but yeah, it's my girl free ren. I also got this Miffy. This was when I went to the Miffy store, so you'll have seen earlier on in the video, I went to the Miffy store and my partner actually brought this for me. I thought it was perfect because I was doing live commissions. I didn't do that many, but I was doing a few live commissions at the weekend, so I thought that was perfect. Also, my partner brought me this because I've wanted one of these for ages, so I got this little Miffy. So starting it off with this tote bag that it was actually in a stamp rally that I was running, a neurospicy stamp rally. I got this certified scatterbrain bag from Bean Boy Studios, and I absolutely love all of their stuff. It's so cool and it's very neurodiversity affirming, and I just personally love that. In the same stamp rally, I was also with a wonderful artist. In the stamp rally, they created this brilliant sticker which is about hyperfixation. So the idea is that you can put whatever your current hyperfixation is in the center of the brain there, and I thought that was genius, I'll be honest. So yeah, we got that, which I thought was really super cute. The last thing from that stamp rally is we had this Neurospicy Squad sticker by Chronically Crispy. I'll link them again down below. But yeah, that was the cute little final prize. But yes, it was a cute little rally that we did. I was gifted these cute witch hat stickers. I'll put the name of the artist. This was actually my table neighbor, and there was 2 people next to me, and they were absolutely wonderful. And brilliant neighbours all weekend. So the person at the booth next to me as well was doing amazing portraits, and they gifted me, or we traded, for this Todoroki portrait. And I also had the sticker version of this as well, which I thought was just so cute, because I don't watch My Hero anymore. I stopped after, I think it was about season 3 or 4, but when I was watching it, this was my favourite character. So yeah, I thought this was really cute. I was also running a kawaii food stamp rally this weekend. So we had from Monokiro these mini OC donut stickers. I think they're donuts. Yeah, and it's their OCs, which I thought was really cute. I also had by Maybe RQL these pastry stickers, which are so cute, so sweet. I love them. And also we had a sticker from Snowfly Valley. So cute, and it's nice and shiny, and look at the little frock on there too. It's just so cute. So yeah, that was the kawaii food stamp rally. I was also incredibly lucky and got gifted or traded lots of different stickers. So again, from Snowfly Valley, we had this lovely Hyper Japan one. Here is the Todoroki sticker. These ones are probably my favorite ones, but I am a bit biased. So I'm really obsessed with Witch Hat and Brush Buddies in particular. So those of you that follow me on socials will see that I made my Brush Buddy photo holders, my little photo here. But this person did a trade with me for some stickers, and I got their cute Brush Buddy. We've got Keyfree as well, but then look at the Brush Buddy with the ink. It's just so cute. So I was obsessed with these, and I don't know what to do with them. I get a bit of sticker anxiety, actually. So all of my stickers I've still got. Part of me wants to do a cute scrapbook of the event, because we also had a plain table next to us, so we had a doodle station, and so I've got some brilliant doodles from people, so part of me really wants to scrapbook. But honestly, with having events back to back, and I also do markets, having all of those, it's just been a bit mad. So these remain safely in a little bag. I've got the sticker here. This was one of the table neighbours that were opposite me. I'll also insert a picture here because I did get a print from her as part of the trade. So I am obsessed with tomato ketchup. Like, actually, I go through an awful lot of tomato ketchup. It's pretty bad. So when I saw this and we did a little trade, I was like, yes, I need that. I also did a trade with somebody for a free run print, which I will insert a picture of here as well because it is downstairs. And I also got a little Pachita sticker from them as well. So yeah, that is the haul of Hyper Japan. Again, it was a great event. I would definitely do it again next year, I think. That's all from me for now. I hope that you have enjoyed this sort of mini convention vlog. Yeah, let me know in the comments. Did you go to Hyper Japan? Were you an attendee? Were you a stallholder? Let me know, and let me know how the event went for you, and whether you would consider going again as an attendee or rebooking again as an exhibitor. But yeah, that's all from me for now. Consider subscribing if you want to see more con and small business content and pottery content as well, because I am a beginner potter. I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you soon. Bye!